Hey guys, you know those videos where people are like, this is my dream office, and then they show you a corner of a room with basically nothing in it, and they're like, I really do get productivity done in this part of my house because I really like the things that I own. I'm not sure how much I believe those videos anymore. I mean, I really like them. They're great. What are they called? Desk porn, office porn videos. They're beautiful. They show these videos that are just absolutely breathtaking. And the truth is, that's not at all what I think a real office looks like. It's not what my office looks like. And I need your help making my office look like something somebody could actually work in. So I know I haven't put a video up for a while. I've got a whole bunch of questions. I've got some stuff that I promised that I would make in terms of the Ambilight and some of the other videos. And I not only can I not get to it because of personal things, I don't have the physical space to do anything right now. So I figured I'd do a little bit of a discussion about kind of who I am, what I need, and then kind of show you what I've got. And I'm really asking for your help if you've got an idea or you've got friends that are good at designing that would like to help contribute to this. I'll kind of do posts every so often, hopefully monthly, kind of showing how it's progressing, maybe a little bit sooner if I get more done, less kind of depending on how the feedback is on this. But I'd like to make my office something that a human being could work in and be productive in. And maybe you need to do that too. I don't know. But let's talk about this. So for me, I have 3 jobs. I'm also in school, and I try really, really hard to make some of these videos, sharing some tutorials, doing stuff like that. I've got some new stuff that I'll kind of tease ahead. Actually, I'll just tell you right now. So I'm in the process of trying to put together kind of a general answer to a lot of the questions that I get emailed regularly, just so I have a quick reference to them in regards to things like Ambilight and Prismatic and some of those software programs. I also have a video that I'm in the process of working for digital picture frames, and I'll show you the one in particular I'm going to talk about in a minute because I don't have it hung. And then, yeah, some other odds and ends kind of things that I'm working on, but really my office is a hot freaking mess. Oh, I should tell you that I love cats. You're going to see cats kind of all over the place, and don't be surprised if you see cat stuff everywhere. It's part of what I do, and it's also just something I love. I love cats. So, anyways, um, let's talk about this office that I've got going on right now. Um, I have 3 rooms that store stuff that is not this room. So the stuff you see in here is the stuff that I've used recently, but not necessarily everything that I've got. And that's not a brag. I'm not bragging that I have a lot of stuff. I'm actually humbly admitting that I've got crap and I've got too much of it. And I'm asking for your help to help me figure out what I should get rid of. And if you've got a better solution that can help me get rid of things that I have that simplifies my life and makes me more productive and makes just the immersive experience of entertainment and all that stuff better, I'm all ears. Um, yeah. So, uh, what I'd like to have in this room is I'd like to have a simple, clean look. I'm really into natural woods right now, so I'd like to move to that. And that being said, I just bought an uplift desk, and that's what I'm standing at right now. It's in the middle of the room, so there's a whole other section behind this with another desk that's going to go. And I like to kind of go, the walnut desk that I have, it's a darker walnut. That's kind of my neutral base that I'm going to be basing everything off of. And then I have some other stuff that may or may not stay. You can see I have a dresser in the corner that's kind of like a birchy, kind of lighter wood. That's probably going to go. But yeah, so help me out here, guys. Let's just start with a tour of kind of what I've got and maybe kind of give you some ideas of things that should go or things that should be done with or things that should go in storage because it could be useful later and worth keeping. You can see on the top of my dresser here that I've got a whole bunch of Legos. I've got all sorts of stuff. I also have, and it's worth noting, I have every voice assistant. I don't use them. I honestly at this point don't know why I have them, but I have multiple Echoes. I have OK Googles. I don't have a Home Pod, but I've got a bunch of iDevices for Siri, and I've got Cortana stuff somewhere around here as well. I hate these things. These are probably going to get out of the house. I can't stand them. So this is clutter. So this is probably something that can go in the go away pile. Balsam and cedar, my favorite scent. I've burnt through a bunch of these. This one's about to go, but I do like that scent, and I really like a nice natural green. I think the greens are pretty cool. As far as the Legos go, I like the London Bridge. No, it's Tower Bridge. I don't want to mess that up. That's Tower Bridge. Tower Bridge is the big Lego sets on the top, and then I've got like the Ghostbusters and the submarine stuff. You'll also notice on the top here, I've got a light bulb. You can see it in the corner back here. I have a whole bunch of these Hue light bulbs that are on plug-in sockets. They're the RGB Hue light bulbs. I got a whole bunch of them. I'd like to do something with them. I was thinking maybe, what are they called? Conches? They go on the wall, hang them up, maybe put one in each corner. That's my thinking on this. So got that there. What else do we, I should put that in so it doesn't fall. I've got a whole bunch of Corsair accessories. I went through this phase where I bought everything Corsair had. And a common theme here, this is really important. And again, this is not a brag. This is a humble kind of admission that sometimes I don't make the best choices, but sometimes it's on sale and I'm like, well, I need a headphone stand, so why not buy one that has RGB lighting and USB ports? Well, it takes up a lot of space is the problem and then it's got a USB, I think they call it B. It's got that USB B port. I don't like it. It's kind of finicky. So it's kind of just sat there. And there's nothing wrong with it. It looks good. It actually matches a lot of the black stuff that I have. So I don't want to get rid of it. But then again, I got to get rid of stuff, right? So help me out with this. I have a ton of skeletons. This one is a bat. And I also have a quail, quail. I've got a black-footed ferret skull on a nice walnut base. I think these are pretty cool. What else in here? There's a bunch of stuff that like is in this bookshelf alone. I don't even know what I have, and so I want to remind you that I actually have multiple rooms of crap that I've just kind of collected, and maybe we'll filter through some of the boxes as we go through. I don't want to spend a lot of time going through every single one of these boxes because, well, I mean, I do want to spend time going through each of these boxes because I want to figure out whether I should get rid of it, but I don't want to waste your time going through boxes. But I want to give you kind of an idea of the kind of variation of stuff that's going on in this office that is crap that either needs to go or needs to stay. And at any point, if you've got questions or you've kind of got things that you'd like me to point out or you see something, let me know because man, this is a lot of garbage. So label makers, pens, pencils, and stuff in this cube. Again, like I said, I love cats, so here's a kitty pen. This is probably something that is swag that I got at some conference. It's got a little bell on it. It's really cute. I don't think I've ever used it. And of course, I have two of them because they were so cute. I had to take two. I do have a dog. I'm not going to say I hate dogs, but I also have a dog one. Bunch of pens and stuff. This looks like the USB cord to the Echo. Some science-y things, right? Like this is, it's one of those instant boilers. You put it in your hand and it boils up to the top. That's literally all it does. It's just fluid that sits at the bottom when it's sitting on your desk. And then when you touch it, the fluid goes to the top. It's not actually in here. So I don't know where it is. That's great. So I've got an empty box for a product that apparently I needed to have at some point. What else do we have going on in here? Um, this is a common theme too. We'll find here's a copy of The Sims 4. It's still sealed in a package. Uh, it was from Target. Yeah, that's great. Absolutely great. I already talked about the light bulbs that I have. I got a whole bunch of light bulbs. This is more office stuff. Um, a Woolly Willy. Again, the pen's never been removed. I've clearly never used this. Yeah. Whiteboards, markers, hole punches. What else do we got in here? Pictures. I do have a bunch of books that are worth keeping a note. So if you have an idea for books, I have tons of books. A lot of them are in my storage unit that I'm like, I don't want to get rid of this because I really like this book, or I like the look of this book, or whatever. This is the complete works of Skyrim. It's every book in Skyrim written and printed out. It's beautiful. If only for a display. I mean, it's gorgeous. And it opens up like this, like I'm a complete fool here. So it opens up like this on the inside, and it's got 3 volumes with every single text from every single book in Skyrim. I'd like a way to display this sort of thing. So if you've got an idea for this that'll kind of match a general style, that would be great. I would love that. Let's put this back in here, and I'll point out that in addition, I also have this book from Catit. It's just called Pure. This is, again, me being the way I am. It's just pictures of different breeds of cats. I love it. I love cats, as you obviously know. So if you've got a cat theme that's kind of got a natural look to it, that's great. I do have cats as well. And so I've got a cat tower that I just built that is a 87 inch by 42 inches by 24 inches. That is massive. It's got a nice dark brown, light brown contrast as you move up it. It's super soft. It looks really nice. The cats are enjoying it right now. It's sitting in front of a window in another room. I thought about moving it in here as sort of a way for the cats to be able to be up high and look down on me when I'm working. Because the truth is, there's a door. It's shut right now. They will eventually start crying and yelling at me. And I can't get work done when they're crying outside. So I need to have the room open. But because there's nothing in this room that's really high that they can climb on, they want to climb on me. They want to climb on the desk, and they disrupt me. And I mean that in the sweetest, nicest way. Like, I am thrilled that they want to spend time with me, and I'm very thankful for the opportunity to be able to spend time with my animals. But sometimes it's nice to just have them nearby without being in my face. Just kind of where I'll say with that. Whole bunch of other books. I've got a ton of notebooks. I'm going to have a whole bunch of books that I'm going to end up coming across that are just notes that, again, I've been at school for. So I'm probably the closest I'll ever be to a professional student. Oh gosh, 500 credits, maybe. I got to be more than that by now. Multiple medical degrees. Again, I don't want this to sound like a brag. That's not the point of this video. This video is me trying to get help building my office. But I got lots and lots of notebooks. This one's still sealed because I never got around to using it, but I got tons of books that are just filled with observations and notes that I've seen while I was in classes or on location, and things that I was, trying to get done, but they're not digitized. I could probably digitize some of these and get rid of the notebooks. I don't actually know how useful a lot of the notebooks I filled out actually are. I mean, think about the notes you took in school, right? Like, if you went back and read your notes, do you think they would actually mean anything to you? And if they did, would they still be relevant in today's age? Man, I don't know. Febreze, this is an empty box again. This was a cube. Again, empty box. What else we got here? I've got a binder full of stuff. I see on the top here, there's an iPad and some other stuff in here. A lot of that could probably go. I've got every Harry Potter book, pencils, batteries. The corner here, we've got more books. The whole thing down on the side that you can't see because I'm in your way right now, those are just notebooks that I've filled out notes and such of things from classes, observations when I'm in hospitals and stuff like that. What else? More books, more books. There's the little black thing down there. That's just a cat house. That is a spot where the cats can go if they want to be in the room and they want privacy at the same time, whatever. I did go through a phase when I wanted all my electronics to be white. That was interesting. So I have this white Blue Yeti. I really love it. Don't get me wrong. This is a great microphone, but part of the problem is that it took up a lot of space. I do use it occasionally, and obviously I'm not using it now. I'm actually using this Corsair, which is also white. Same kind of thing. I need a little bit more flexibility to move about the room to do this video. Gosh, I really hope that some of you can help me with getting this organized. It's a lot to ask. I know. But anyways, I've got this Blue Yeti. I'd like to figure out a use for it because I don't want to get rid of it. And the other thing that you'll notice is I'm going to end up with a lot of cables. And if any of you have a solution for actually how to store and manage cables in a relatively cheap way, I mean, granted, yes, there are some cables that I'm just going to have to get rid of because I've got like cell phone cables for phones, like old LG phones that have their own proprietary cable, and I'm never going to use them again, but I'm still keeping them because I don't know. So some of them are going to end up going, but I got a lot of cables that are like really high quality USB cables or micro USB, things like that. And they might be useful in the future. Again, I've got a box for my MacBook in here, some more books, some more stuff. You can't see it because of the camera, but I have clothes on the floor. And that's a good time for me to point out the fact that I have two closets in here. I've got one with the mirror that you can see. And then on the other side that's not the mirror is a walk-in closet that goes behind this wall. You would think that a normal person would put their clothing in there. And there is clothes in there. I don't want to imply that. That closet is filled entirely with blankets, most of which have pictures of cats on them. I'll admit it. The other closet is filled with clothes and shoes and such, but I don't really wear them because I can't get to them. As you can see, there's this hot mess. That's not me pulling stuff out to try and make this video. That's what my office looks like all the time. And that's kind of what inspired me to do this live stream and kind of seek your help. Gosh, it is a complete hot mess. The office itself has a whole bunch of stuff in there. I've got my old server. I've got a VR. I have a VR gaming computer. It's a Fantech. I can't remember the case it is, but it's massive. It's an absolutely massive beast. It's a decent computer. It still could do VR for the most part, although those games are starting to get a little intense. And I think it's got a 980 in it, or 980 Ti. And I think even that, even though it's a decent GPU, isn't going to cut it anymore for I'm not going to play Half-Life Alyx on that thing. I don't think it would play very well. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a great thing. Maybe I should sell it and give it to some kid that wants to have his first VR gaming headset, or maybe I could donate it for one of those, what is it? Not Toys for Tot, but there's like Make-A-Wish for Christmas type of things. Maybe I could do something like that, one of those holiday things to make some kid happy. It's got like a 4790K or something. I don't know. It's a decent computer for someone's first computer. Oh yeah. So anyways, there's a bunch of stuff in the closet there that eventually we can kind of cut through and start breaking up. What else? Geez, I feel like I'm just listing things, and that's not really what I wanted to do. I wanted to kind of get feedback and information about it. Oh, you know what I should do is I should show you kind of what the room looks like. And this is going to be a little tough because YouTube hasn't authorized me to be able to use my mobile phone because I don't have enough subscribers yet. So like and subscribe. Yeah, you're 20 minutes in. If you made it this far, you probably already subscribed. But in any case, well, let me grab the camera. Let me see what I can do about moving around here. So I'm doing this with my Logitech camera. It's a webcam here. You can see here's a giant cat on my wall. That's actually a mattress with a blanket over it. That's one of my cat blankets. The mattress is a guest bed for when people come and visit, because my office turns into a guest room when there are visitors. Obviously, with the human malware that's out, I don't think I'm allowed to say the actual name on YouTube. It doesn't seem like that's the case, but there's a mattress under here with the cat on it. You can see on the wall, weird. You can see on the wall that there is these little hooks and such. That's where my VR headset was hooked up when I had space to be able to actually do it. I don't have them there. It was a Rift, so it had the sensors. I also want to show here, let's see, without knocking everything off my desk. So again, whole bunch of cables and such, stuff on there. This is about as far as I can get with this. Like I said, I got clothes, I've got tools, I got blankets on the floor. I need to really get rid of this stuff. And then kind of coming around to look at this, you can see on the floor up against this wall here, that's my old desk. That's an IKEA desk on some sawhorses. This new one is my walnut uplift desk, which I love. I've been sanding for a lot lately. On the floor here, we have my Canva picture frame that I just recently got. This is something that I want to make a video about for how to do, because the software, the picture frame is amazing, but the software is pretty questionable. I got a Liquid Freezer 2 360 because I had it in my head that I was going to build a new PC, but that hasn't happened yet. Again, a bunch of cables and stuff on the floor because that's how it is. You'll see a bunch of hard drives and such. Because again, I am a hot mess and I don't have anything on there. I've got the Audio Technica headphones with the cat ears because, again, I'm a little child who loves cats. I got more cat ears on the floor. You can actually see them and such. So anyways, so the uplift desk is my new thing. I've got my MacBook, some Klipsch speakers. These are the R51s. Where am I? Come on, there we go. Okay, so those are the R51s. These are pretty big speakers. I think it makes most sense to have them on the desk, but if you guys got recommendations for where they could go or how they should be, that would be great. What else here? My Stream Deck. So I've got some accessories that I'd like to have on here. Again, I've got a paw print with, these are magnets. I've just random crap that I find in my office and I'm like, I should do something with this. I do use 2 mice. I'm not really sure how to manage this. So I have the Logitech Vertical and I have the MX Master 3. The reason for that is I do a lot of work on my desktop that, like I do a lot of work typing and writing stuff that my hands end up hurting after a while. So I switch back and forth between these 2 mice just to give my wrists a break. You know, take care of yourself. It's the same reason I bought a standing desk, is my back was starting to hurt and I wanted to make sure that I can do this for a long time. And it was important to me that, and I was like, well, you know, I'll put this in here. I've got a Logitech. This is the MX keys. I have this, and then if you see kind of peeking out underneath here, down there, that's the one of those Corsair RGB keyboards. I really like the Corsair keyboard. And again, like I said, I was going through a Corsair phase where I bought a lot of stuff here. You can see it better that way. That's a Hue motion sensor that I have underneath my desk so that I can automate lighting and stuff. And then that's a Hue light switch that I have underneath there as well, so I can control my lights. You can control lights, by the way, using the Stream Deck. If you've got Hue lights, it works, but a lot of times it's easier to just have a motion sensor set up so that when I get underneath the desk, it kind of moves into a working phase. I don't have that set up quite the way I want it yet, but anyways, it's there. Wow, this is really coming across as just like a bragging. That is not the goal of this video. 60, the point of this is to talk about the help you need. Hopefully I'm getting that across. I'm like 25 minutes in now, and I've really just talked about a lot of things that I have. And again, that's not the goal of this video. The goal of this video is for you to kind of see things that maybe you could make some suggestions about, like, you should do this, or you should move this here. So like, for example, this Canva photo. I love this photo frame and I want to hang it somewhere, and I can put it in landscape or portrait. For those of you who don't know, this is a frame that allows you to, so I'm going to pull it up here. And so, for example, here's the frame and then the software. I'm going to change it to this one, and you can see that the frame changes. I'll change it back. Here's still life with asparagus. Yeah, so it's beautiful, and it really looks like art. Like, and it automatically changes the color and the look and everything based on the natural light. So if I open these blackout curtains that I have in front of my window, and the sun hits it, I don't get glare because it actually changes the image that's on the frame, which is great, but it's not hanging, it's sitting on the floor and I need to get it hung someplace. So kind of giving you an idea, that's the door to my office. And then I've got this space here, and then I've got my windows, and then I've got this big long wall with the mattresses. I've got that hall, and then I've got this IKEA bookshelf, and then this wood dresser that has some stuff on it. My thinking was, and I'm going to put the camera back now. My thinking was, um, I would put the desk, my standing desk, in front of the window where the blackout curtains are. I have white blackout curtains as well, and I was going to swap the black ones for the white ones. And the reason for that was I don't have my lights set up, my bias lights, my Ambibox prismatic ambient lights set up on this new monitor because I just got an Odyssey G9, and I wanted to put them on that. And I thought if I put the standing desk by the window, I could open the window and be able to look outside, but I could also have the lights shining off the white. That was my thought on that. So they don't have them set up for that. What else? You may have noticed that there's no computer on my desk. I actually have a 25-foot active DisplayPort cable that I've been testing to see if I can get high refresh rates on this Samsung G9 49-inch monitor. So far, it's good. I've played Overwatch, which fortunately or unfortunately, depending upon your opinion on this, it's not a full 32:9 game. I picked up Red Dead Redemption because I feel like Red Dead Redemption 2 is a good game to test like high performance. It does have 32:9 HDR, so it's a good game, I think, to test the performance of this monitor with different cables. What I'd like to do is put my PC under my desk somewhere so that I've got the desk itself to block fan noise. So when things ramp up, there's at least one more thing the sound has to get through to get to me. I don't actually know how well that will work. And I've got to figure out the cable management so that when I'm going up and down on my desk, it's not pulling or tugging. That's going to take a little bit of work as well. But the ramblings of a madman. So back to my point and the whole point of this video, right? Hi, I'm not productive and I need to get stuff done. So what are we going to do? I think pushing the desk up against that window, and then putting the PC underneath it, getting rid of the desk that I currently have, hanging the Canva photo, I think probably to the left of the window where there's that big wall where it's door, wall, windows on the next wall, and then putting it there just so I have it there. And then keeping the speakers on the desk for now so that they always stay ear height whether I'm sitting or standing. I don't listen to a lot of music, but I do play a lot of, I don't want to say play a lot of games because I don't really have a lot of time, but I play games that are first-person shooters, kind of story-driven games. So like Firewatch and things like that. Okay, so the mattress. I still kind of have to have the mattress because if I still have people come to visit, I need a place to put them. I was thinking maybe I could get one of those Murphy beds. I don't know if you guys have any experience with those. I found a couple on Amazon, but they look like they're made of particle board. I'm not sure how well they would last. I don't, in terms of how often this bed is used, it's really tough to say. It can be, sometimes it's used for like a month straight. Sometimes it's not touched for a couple months. So maybe a Murphy bed against the wall that's facing the door, to hide that mattress so I can just kind of get that there, but still be able to pull it out. Um, the IKEA bookshelf that you see behind me and the dresser, I kind of want to get rid of them. I feel like they take up a lot of space and they look awful and they look terrible. And so any help that you can give in terms of what to do about this, like, so I've got this space here and um, I have a couple pieces of exercise equipment that I feel like would be good to put in an office so that if you're working and you've been sitting for too long, you can get up and just do something physical for a little bit. Because I know exercising helps with energy. So anything that's helpful with uh, getting you perked back up so you can go back and sit down and be more productive. I'd like to have. So I was thinking maybe like an exercise bike there. If I get rid of the dresser and I get rid of the IKEA bookshelf and the dresser, a lot of this stuff I could probably get rid of. I talked about that in great lengths at the beginning of this video, and uh, I could probably get rid of a lot of the stuff that's in this, which means I don't need the IKEA bookshelf by itself. I could donate that to Goodwill or something like that. I could probably get rid of the dresser as well. There is clothes in that dresser, but I don't know what it is. And again, it's one of those things where it's like, I've got clothes that I don't wear. Why do I have it? So let's eventually we can get rid of some of that stuff. Um, what else? Oh, and then so putting the exercise bike there, right? I think like an exercise bike or like a smaller treadmill. If there's a way, if you guys know of a treadmill that could fit in such a small area, I want to say this is like just shy of 60 inches to the wall. So I feel like a lot of treadmills and stuff wouldn't fit there. And I'm not suggesting that I should buy more stuff. I'm just saying that like if it would be helpful and make me more productive, then it's an investment worth considering. Because as it stands, I have an exercise bike and I have a rower. The rower, I have no room for it. It's in my living room, but it's always broken in half. It's a concept too, so it splits in half. I love it, but this place that I'm living in right now doesn't really have the room for it. So it's kind of like that. And that's one of those things where it's like I really struggle with getting rid of it because it's this thing that when I have room for it and I have the ability to use it, I love having it. But the truth is I don't have room for it now. So maybe I just need to suck it up and just be like, you know what, 60, you don't have space to get rid of it. And just maybe I have to really have that mentality. But my point is that I would love to be able to simplify. And this to me is just too cluttered. This is just crap. Plus, there's the problem of this wall here is directly facing the window, which is where I said I wanted to put the desk. So every single time I'm on a conference call, and I'm on probably 3 conference calls a day, every single time I'm on a conference call, this is what people see behind me. And it's awful. It's ugly. It's kind of embarrassing. Now, I'm not saying that like I'm doing something where this is a make or break deal, but this isn't professional. And it looks like I don't have my life put together because I don't have my life put together. It's just not very good. It's not enjoyable to look at. So my thinking was I could get a green screen, one of those big massive green screens. And I saw that Elgato makes one, which is probably overkill. Elgato makes really premium stuff that you probably don't need. And I could probably save a little bit of money by buying one of the cheaper ones. But I was thinking, those ones that hang from the ceiling that you can pull down, like the projectors that you had in high school that, they would want to show you a movie or something, you'd pull it down. So get a green screen I can pull down, and that would at least block what's back here. So I could do that, right? And I could have it hanging up. The problem with that, and the only issue that I'm running into, and this I definitely need help with in terms of ideas, is above me, there's a ceiling fan. So there's this massive ceiling fan in the center of this room, which, don't get me wrong, really helps keep this room stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter. And my PC generates just enough heat that, man, you shut the door like it's now, and you don't have the fan on like it's now, this room gets toasty. So I like having it, but I don't know how to hang it because I think there's a minimum different distance behind you that it needs to be. And if the last time I checked, I want to say you're really basically a chair. It like seems like it needs to be like a chair's distance behind you to really be useful, even for those really big green screens, right? Like you could get the really massive ones, but like even like one that's like 75 inches, because if your webcam is 90 degrees, you got to be pretty close to get within frame. Um, so, so an idea, like again, if you've got a way that I can instantly make the room professional, that would be great. I do everything with either Microsoft Teams or Zoom. That's what everybody seems to want to use for conference calls to hide it. But then again, if I get rid of all this clutter, right? Maybe I put a kitty tower there and it's just nice. It's just a kitty tower. And it's something you can look at, and maybe a cat climbs up and when I'm on a conference call, and it makes me look a little bit more professional because, you know, sometimes I do stuff with cats, or maybe it makes me look a little bit more human. Although, let's be frank, this is what a lot of our offices look like, and this definitely makes me look human. It just doesn't make me look professional. And since a lot of us, I know I'm doing most of my work from home. I'm guessing that many of you are doing work from home as well. There's this combination of like, realistically, we're not in the office, but at the same time, like, we don't want to show everybody the fact that we have a porcelain sloth doing yoga. Is that something that we need to show them that we have? Maybe it is. Maybe this is something that should be the centerpiece. What do you think? Should this be like a centerpiece of my room? I mean, I'm not really a sloth guy, but he seems happy. I'd like to be this happy. Um, yeah. So, what else? Oh, so the uh, oh, I've got some buckets with stuff in here. Some other things too. Some ideas for you to kind of think about. And if, again, please comment if you've got an idea here. I have a racing cockpit. It's made by Arazi. You can look it up on their website. I can't remember the name of the cockpit. It's really just to hold racing gear and flight simulation gear. I have a whole racing kit and flight sim kit for X-Plane and for drift. I love that drift, especially with the VR. But again, it's big and it takes up so much space. And it's like, is that a thing worth putting in my office? Or should I sell it? Should I get rid of it? Because, or should I donate it? Like when I say sell, I mean sell or donate, because honestly, if I'm not using something, that doesn't mean it has value, but it might have value to some kid that would love to be able to get into racing. So as we move through stuff and I bring stuff in and we talk about it, maybe I'm going to try and make follow-up videos to this. And as more and more people join in on the video and the live streams, be able to get more input as to what sort of, like what I should do with stuff. So it'd be nice to hear some opinions on kind of like, would a kid like this, right? Like, would this be a thing that a kid would actually be thankful to have, or is it burdensome? Because tangent, when I was a kid, one of the neighbors gave me an old TV. It was a big screen. Back then, there weren't really flat panels. They were pretty big and boxy. I was really excited to have it, but my parents hated it because it was so massive. It didn't look nice in terms of like, because it was cumbersome, and it was a burden. Looking back on it, as much as I liked it as a kid, it was a burden to my parents, and it was just a frustrating thing to own. So it's one of those things of like, yeah, it might still be useful. It might still be functional. Someone might like it. And I hate to just give it up on Craigslist because I feel like it won't actually go to somebody. I don't know. Do you think I should I post it on Craigslist? Or we're going on a tangent. You haven't even seen it. You don't even know what I'm talking about 100%. Going on a tangent. Okay. So back. Desk against the window. The bookshelf in the dresser, gone. Canvia frame up on the wall by the door. Maybe a Murphy bed. If we can find a Murphy bed, that's good. If you guys got recommendations or you know somebody that has one and they've got suggestions, I've heard you can lose your pillow behind the Murphy bed when you open it. That would be really frustrating, and it would make us never want to use the Murphy bed. So yeah. So let's talk about maybe a Murphy bed on this wall to get the mattress out of the way, at least so it looks cosmetically nice. The cables and stuff obviously need to get gone through. I need to go through them individually and decide whether or not I actually need them. Of course, if you've ever tried to go through a pile of cables, you always think to yourself, yeah, of course I need this cable. Yeah, I might totally need a 3-inch USB micro B cable in the future someday. Or you're looking at it and you're like, it's totally for a thing that I own. I think I like it. I'm not sure where that is or what exactly it was, but I shouldn't get rid of it, right? So you're like, okay, what am I going to do? Right? What am I going to do? Um, so that's a thing. I got yeah, man, I don't know. I got tools and stuff. The tools could go in the garage. That would be an easy one. The blankets, again, it's really hard for me to get rid of blankets because you never know when you're going to want a specific blanket, and each blanket is a little bit different thickness. But that entire closet with the mirror on it, that entire thing is filled with blankets. There's like 100 blankets in there, and they're all like either fleecies or I've got a weighted blanket in there that's like, or maybe I have two weighted blankets in there. Those were all the trend. If you remember those, like 2 years ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, everybody was using weighted blankets to help you sleep. I actually like it. The problem with the weighted blanket is that um, if it's not heavy enough, if it's too heavy, you can't sleep because you feel claustrophobic. And if it's not heavy enough, you kick it off and you roll on top of it, and then it feels like there's like lead shot underneath your back because essentially there is. So it's tricky. And if you sleep with somebody, I mean like sleep like for regenerating your body. Uh, I mean like sleeping as if you're trying to get your body refocused because you're actually asleep. And the weights are the wrong weight for each of you. You have to figure out a blanket that is the right weight for both of you. But if one of you kicks it off, suddenly the weight shifts and now it's heavier on the person that still has. Oh man, lots of tangents, man. I gotta pay attention and focus. Anyways, my point is there's lots of blankets in this. There's clothes and stuff in that closet. Clothes in the closet's probably a good idea. And if I go through and I try and get rid of stuff that maybe doesn't fit, I am getting a little bit older, getting a little bit heavier in the in the top. So gotta go through, and I'm sure that I've got clothes in there that no longer fits me. I'm sure we all have clothes that don't fit us anymore. And if we take the time to actually go through and see what we need, we can throw that to Goodwill. We can throw that to one of those thrift shops. Get rid of that because they're usually still good. They just don't fit you, or it's stuff that you would never wear again, or it's novelty stuff. You went to a hockey game or a baseball game and you got a T-shirt and you're like, I'm never gonna wear this. Um, so I've got that. Some other ideas and stuff too in here. So I have a bunch of projects that I did. So some of you might remember that I built a stereo footstool, and the stereo footstool I still have. I've actually disassembled it. I'm working on something a little bit more elaborate. To do that, I'm going to need a lot more workspace. Again, I don't want to give away too much because I really actually like this idea. And I've contacted some companies that I'd, I'd like them to help me with it. One of which makes probably the best part for it. They're interested, but again, they are. It's an idea that is going to require a lot of space for me to build, and I currently can't do it because I'm clustered in 2020, which is manifested by the state of my office. It's awful. What else? Just peeking in through here, I've got that giant PC that I was talking about, tons of clothes. I've got some cat stuff in here, of course, because all of those things. Yeah, I think at this point I've really given some ideas and kind of given you an idea of what it is that my office looks like and what I'm going for. I've been rambling on now for 45 minutes, and the truth is, I need your help. And that's what it is. I need help getting this office into the state that somebody would be proud to see, right? Like, I want to look at it. So, any ideas that you have, and the dream office, the idea of a desk with two speakers, a little pot with a succulent in it, and a single massive OLED TV being used as a monitor and some obscure custom built mechanical keyboard and some general mouse. That's not me. The truth is, I'm not going to build that. I'm just not going to be that person. And I don't think most of us are. I don't think most of us are. Um, but I'd love to get your feedback. How would you make my office better? How would you make this room a place that you could be productive in that's not distracting? How would you do it? And I'd love to hear your feedback. Send me an email. I've got my email linked on my channel. You may need to subscribe to be able to see it. I'm not sure exactly how that works. You can comment on this video. I'll have this available. Guys, I really appreciate any help you have. Stay safe, and thanks in advance.